Hello there everybody, so Hammer, and welcome back to Umineko. Now before the video actually begins, I want to go and give out a quick shout out and big thank you to a new patron, Dimitri! Thank you very much, honestly. I need to figure out a better way to say thank you to you guys for supporting some idiot like me. Anyway, in the last episode it was much more of a recap of sorts. I also got to see a lot of the, hints and just basically beato, you know, banter. It was funny. There was one thing, though, that kind of intrigued me. The way their line of reasoning did eliminate George as a possible suspect. However, Erica stated in red that there was a logical way for George to be the culprit. And thinking about it, one of the only ways that would be able to work is if they got one of the other adults to help. I would think. Possibly. As to which adult, Nazi maybe? Anyway, yeah, let's just jump right at it. That's it. Let's just jump right back in. Been waiting too long to get back into this, honestly. The inside of my nose itched. I've never regained consciousness to a smell before. Isn't this Aurora's room? Area? Place? Thing? Slowly I opened my eyes. Wait, when did I lose consciousness in the first place? I don't remember going to sleep or falling unconscious. That's right. Bernkastel invited me to come to a place better for drinking tea. And that's when my memory gets hazy. And since the smell of black tea is what woke me up,
ここはアウアウローラの書斎よ。紅茶の趣味がいいことだけはたとえあいつであっても認めざるを得ないところだわ。
I was sitting on what appeared to be a sofa in a dimly lit study. Bernkastel sat across from me. And right before my eyes was a beautiful cup filled with hot steaming tea.
ここは確か
I remembered. I've been here before. Wasn't it?
久しぶりだな、人の子よ。
How pleasant it is to hear from you again. Yes, that voice. Just hearing it brings back memories.
久しぶりじゃない、我が主。そなたを再び我が書斎に招けるとは思わなかったぞ。まさかそなたたちのゲームにまだ続きがあろうとはな。
Yeah, I thought you were asleep.
続きなんて甘いものじゃない。これが本当の最後のピリオドのゲームよ。
This was a study of Featherine Augustus Aurora, the majestic witch of theater-going, drama, and spectating. Once in the past, I was summoned by her in order to be her reader, or Miko.
まさか私をまた朗読役に？
Possibly?
そなたを呼んだのは私ではない。我が巫女がそなたと私を引き合わせたのだ。何のために？決まってるじゃない。あんたに真実に至るための道しるべを示すためよ。
フ
ェザリーヌが私に示してくれるの？私は感激の魔女だ。舞台の上の役者に干渉することはあまり好まぬのだがな。バトラの退屈な芝居を感激するのと私の手による退屈に1分1秒だって耐えられないくせに。
I don't know, I was kind of enjoying Battler's game. As Featherine rocked her rocking chair, she looked up at the ceiling and chuckled. She clearly holds some key to the truth I seek.
鍵を握っているのは文字通りそなたではないか。私にできるのはその鍵で開けることのできる鍵穴を教えることだけだ、人の子よ。
I don't remember saying anything out loud, but Featherine answered my question as though I had. Come to think of it, that's right. Featherine can read the thoughts of a mere child, a man like me, as easily as she can hear me speak. Ah, I guess that'll help us get to the point quicker.
この鍵はお兄ちゃんがくれた。でも使うべき時に使い方がわかるみたいなことを言って、あんたたちは知ってるの？この鍵は何？お兄ちゃんはとても大切なものだと言っていた。我が巫女よ、説明せよ。いやよ。あんたが説明しなさい。主に説明をさせようというのか？たまにはその程度の舞台参加もしなさいよ。ボケ防止にいいわよ。やれやれ、エンジェの朗読の時に久々の舞台を堪能したので、もう数百年は十分だと思っていたのだがな。教えて、この鍵は何なの？そなたの決断を具現化したものだ。この物語は、ゲームはそなたにある決断を求めることで終わりを迎える。その決断するという行為を鍵の形に具現化したものがそなたのそれだ。私の決断を具現化したもの。そういうこと。最終的にあんたはおそらくバトラからその鍵で開けられる2枚の扉の前に立たされ、どちらの扉を開くか選択を迫られるでしょうね。それくらいは聞かされてる？何も教えてくれない。叱るべき時が来ればみたいなことしか言わないの。お兄ちゃんも誰も何も教えてくれない。バトラはそなたの自由意志による選択を尊重したいのであろうな。
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I was getting.
でもエンジェ、もううすうすは気づき始めてるんじゃない？何を？バトラはあんたに選ばせたい答えがあるんじゃない？
Those words made my heart jump in my chest. It was what I had been thinking. Oni-chan is clearly trying to trick me with a vague tale, almost like a daydream. That'll take me even farther away from the truth. At the 1986 family conference, everyone had a wonderful time as they faded away. Everyone was smiling down on you from heaven. So you don't need to feel alone, even in 1998. So give it your all and live on by yourself. I've clearly felt Oni-chan's intention to end it like that. And every time I asked him about it, he'd dodge the issue and say something about how the decision would be mine in the end.
その通りよ。バトラは一見あなたに公平な選択肢を与えるように見えて、実際はあなたにはっきりとある一方の選択肢を選ばせようと画策している。そのための茶番のような物語をあなたはすでに延々と見せられているでしょう。
That bizarre Halloween. Are you kidding? That was the best fucking Halloween party ever! Everyone's so strange and friendly that it was almost sickening. I've already seen more than enough of that tale. So sickly sweet it makes me want to vomit. God, Angie. Where Yoshida Kinzo showered me with affection, where his children swore to support each other, where everyone was filled with happiness and hope.
仲良し小良しで煙に巻いて、私を真実から遠ざけようとしている。お兄ちゃんは卑怯だわ。確かに、そなたから見れば卑怯とも呼べよう。しかし、そなたはこのゲームのプレイヤーであり、バトラがゲームマスターだというなら、それは何を意味するというのか。かつてバトラはプレイヤーで、ベアとはゲームマスターだったわ。そして二人はそれぞれの真実のために戦ったわ。そして今度は私がプレイヤーで、ゲームマスターはお兄ちゃんだわ。
Yeah? Could it be that I've misunderstood everything from the very beginning? Oni-chan said he'd tell me what happened that day, so I was under the impression that I'd learn everything if I followed him. How would that be any different than, say, Oni-chan accepting everything Beato said about the crimes being the work of a witch? What a stupid mistake I've been making. Oh god, Angie.
このゲームは私とお兄ちゃんの戦いのゲームだったの？それを理解せずにゲームに臨んでいたとは驚きだ。バトラは狡猾だわ。それをあんたに理解させずに最後のゲームをさっさと始めてしまった。
Didn't he say that he made this final game for her, though?
まあかつてのベアとのゲームもそうだったわ。バトラはわけもわからないうちに彼女のゲームに巻き込まれていた。戦い方さえわからずにね。だから私が教えたわ。今度も同じよ。わけのわからないうちにゲームを始められてしまったあんたに私は教えに来たのよ。
This seems to be a repeating of events.
あんたは誰と何を戦うゲームをしているのかをね。
I was too shocked to speak. Oh, I know this theme. And finally, I realized what I needed to do to accomplish in this game. I've always been passive. I was sure that Oni-chan would tell me everything, so I naively thought I just had to believe whatever he said.
違ったのよ。そうじゃない。
This is a battle between me and the one who wants to reach the truth. I'm sorry, between me, the one who wants to reach the truth, and Oni-chan who wants to trick me and chase me out into a 1998 where I'm all alone. All this time I've kept on saying that Oni-chan was foolish and naive, and now I see that I was more naive than anyone else. And yet Burn Costal didn't sneer at me. On the contrary, she looked at me with that cold gaze as if to say, "So you've finally taken the first step."
理解できた？自分とその鍵の意味。
I gripped the key that Oni-chan had hung around my neck, and for a while I shook with an emotion that even I couldn't understand. Now that I know Oni-chan tricked me, it would be easy to hate him, but hating him would be missing the point. After all, this is a game between me and him. Oni-chan has done nothing but make the optimal moves to win against me. If games aren't just a playful way to communicate, if they're the process that decides who wins and who loses, then there can be no fair games. The best strategy is to always trick your enemy into defeat without telling them the rules before they even know what's going on. In that sense, Oni-chan hasn't done anything wrong. He's using that sickly sweet illusion to trick me and force me into a lonely future. They'll be the only ones having a good time in the cat box, and I'll be the only one chased out.
ありがとう。感謝するよ。ようやく本当の意味で目が覚めた気がするわ。バトラを憎まないであげて。ゲームマスターとは本来相手を一方的に騙すものなのだから。分かってるわよ。お兄ちゃんはお兄ちゃんの立場で最善を尽くした。ただそれだけということよ。なら私も私の立場で最善を尽くさなきゃ。
My goal is now clear. October 4th and 5th, 1986. What happened on Rokunjima that day? I need to tear off the veil covering the truth. Nothing more, nothing less. Jesus.
お兄ちゃんは私にこの鍵をお兄ちゃんが望む鍵穴に入れさせたいのでしょうね。そのために私に延々と甘ったるい幻想を見せつけた。でももうごまかされないわ。私は私の望む扉を自ら選んで開く。ぼんやりとバトラの言いなりになっているエンジェよりはこの方が確かに私の好む物語であるな。じゃあ続きを今度こそあんたに任せるわ。エンジェに教えてあげて真実に至る鍵穴を。
Oh dear.
教えて私にその鍵穴を。いいだろう。まずは腰を下ろすがいい。今持ってこようぞ。
Oh shit. When Featherine rose from her rocking chair, my vision seemed to twist and bend. What? Some kind of interference? Why now, when Featherine's about to show me something important? Why is my head getting Suddenly, I dug my fingernails into my knees, clenching my teeth to keep from losing consciousness. However, the world just keeps twisting more and more. Except for the feel of the sofa beneath me, I couldn't sense anything at all.
Ojo.
Is that Amakusa?
先方がいらっしゃったようですぜ。
Oh. The door opened and Hachijo Toya appeared. What's going on? This isn't the world of witches, but the world of humans? I was sitting on the sofa and Amakusa was behind me. There's no need to feel confused. Featherine and Hachijo Toya are the same being. To her, the difference between the two worlds is a trivial thing. To put in the words of that lover of theater going, it's like having a slightly different background behind the stage. So there was no reason for me to feel hesitant.
今度は八条先生と呼べば？名前というもののなんとややこしきことかな。ここに私とあなたがいることに何の変わりもないのに、あなたは私を何と呼べばいいのか迷わねばならない。そうね。フェザリーヌと呼ぶのもあなたにとっては無粋というわけだわ。役者にとって自分の演ずる役の名前など仮のものでしかない。そういうことだ、人の子よ。
I remember sure like Amakusa's like in the background like, what the hell are these chicks talking about?
フェザリーヌ
Amakusa's eyes went wide as he wondered what I was suddenly talking about. I ignored him and continued.
それであなたは私に何を見せてくれるの？
As I spoke, my eyes were caught by that heavy-looking object she held under her arm. At a glance, it looked like an encyclopedia with a fancy binding.
これをご存知ですか？
As Featherine spoke, she set the heavy object on the table. Oh! Isn't that the book? Wait. That has the same symbol as the key, doesn't it? My first thought was of a grimoire. The heavy book had a mysterious, mystical feel to it, like something Maria One-chan might carry around. And the most remarkable feature of it was the large, sturdy lock that held it shut. Why would someone go so far to keep people from reading a book?
手に取り、裏をご覧になるといいでしょう。裏？
What's on the back? I flipped the heavy book over on my lap. And as soon as I saw it, I gave a small gasp.
エヴァ、後ろ宮、エヴァ。
Wait a minute. Ava's name is on the back of it? Without a doubt, those words were written there with the letters of the alphabet.
これは何？エヴァおばさんの日記？
ひょっとしてこいつが噂の。
あんた何か知ってるの？
噂程度ですがね。エヴァ会長は秘密の日記を持っていて、それには厳重に錠前をかけていて、出先に行く時も必ず持って行ってたって話は護衛仲間から聞いたことがあります。
What the hell?
秘密の日記。それがどうしてここに？後宮エヴァが息を引き取った病室にあったものです。
And how the hell did you get a hold of it? This diary was hidden behind her bed, so it remained in that room for some time after her death before it was found. Then, by coincidence, it was probably found by someone who worked for the hospital, or else a patient or their family. Of course, by that time, there was a huge movement dedicated to the Rokenjima mystery. A locked diary found in the hospital room where Ushinomiya Eva spent her last moments would be absolutely priceless. The discoverer probably handed it over in secret to one of the witch hunters, who would be able to accurately determine its worth. Luckily, the witch hunters who got their hands on this book were all noble and upright people. Not content to boorishly destroy the lock and reveal the truth, not content, sorry, they simply satisfied themselves with the fact that the truth of that day slumbered just on the other side of this mysterious lock. Thanks to that, Ava's diary has remained undamaged to this very day.
後宮家長男クラウスの妻夏妃は日々の不満や鬱積を 日記に記すことでそれを封印するというある種のまじないをしていたことがすでに知られています。
同じことをエヴァおばさんもやっていたと。
Makes sense.
可能性はありますな。
Rather than keep a lot of the feelings she had bottled up, she probably wrote it down.
その日記の蝶つがいを外すのは、たとえ鍵があったとしてもかなり面倒だ。
Not to mention, you also risk destroying the diary itself.
まるでギチギチのコルセットみたいに封印してやがる。
Amakusa was right. This wasn't a diary made to be casually opened and reminisced over. It's probably safe to assume that this diary was used to forget things by writing them down and sealing them away, just like Ushirumi and Natsuhi's. Right. And on top of that, Eva brought it with her into her hospital room, then hid it behind the bed without telling anyone about it.
まさかこの日記にエヴァおばさんがあの日何があったのかを記しているとでも言うの？
中を読めば全てがわかるでしょう。しかしその錠前を外す鍵の行方がわからないのです。
I jumped. Then I looked down at my chest. That's where my brother hung that key.
ない。鍵？
どうしたんですお嬢。鍵って？
私がずっと首にかけてたでしょ。
No, not in this world, probably?
俺は知りませんぜ。鍵なんざぶら下げてましたか？
I understood almost immediately. In the world of humans, I haven't found the key. The me with the key is on the game board in the world of witches.
鍵を持っている私に戻して。この日記を開けるわ。
Yeah, this is gonna be confusing as fuck. Featherine lifted a finger, spun it around, and the world twisted again. Oh shit. When I returned to Featherine's study, the key popped back into existence, hanging from my neck. But at the same time, the diary on my lap popped out of existence. Ah! I see what you did there.
日記はどこに？
ゲーム版のどこかに存在するだろう。そなたに与えられる鍵穴の一つである以上、必ずどこかに存在するはず。
お兄ちゃんがどこかに隠している。
バトラがあんたとのゲームを気取る以上、それはおそらく完全な意味では隠されていないわ。
どういう意味？
バトラにとって奪われたくないキングであっても、それはゲーム版に置かれていなければゲームとして成立せぬということ。
つまりあの後ろ宮家のどこかにあったということ？
Who knows?
あるいはすでにそなたには一度目にする機会が与えられているのかもしれぬ。詐欺師が一番最初に見せる契約書に極小の字にて、すでに悪辣なる罠が記してあるかのように。
And that's why you always read the terms and service.
バトラがゲームマスターとしてミステリーの作法とやらにのっとるなら、手がかりは必ず提示され、バトラが負ける選択肢も必ず提示されている。エンジェ、思い出しなさい。あんたはすでにバトラの世界でエヴァの日記を見ているはずよ。
In that instant, from the back of my mind, drifted the very first scene of this final game. In the chapel, a book lying on the altar, a book with a lock on it. As soon as I showed interest in that book, Battler suddenly got serious and told me not to touch it.
あれがエヴァおばさんの日記。
そうよ。後ろ宮エヴァの日記。
Okay, so I was right. That was the same book.
あの日の真実を記した一なる真実の書。
一なる真実の書。それに本当の真実が記されているの？
What the? Did their voices go high-pitched?
だってそれはエヴァおばさんの妄言の可能性も。
赤き真実で私が断じよう。
Their voices went higher-pitched. What the fuck?
後ろ宮エヴァの日記一なる真実の書には、1986年10月4日から5日にかけての六軒島の真実が記されている。
This happened one other time. But... And don't worry, yes, I did notice the red. I did read it. Did we fix it? Oh, now we're back to the party, thank goodness. The discussions over Bernd Kostel's reasoning game were getting passionate at each of the tables. At some point, each table had started competing to see which could solve it first.
ベルンカステル、エンジェとエリカはまだ到着しないのか？
もう来てもいい頃よ。どっちが先に到着するか賭けでもする？エリ
カが遅くなるのはともかく、エンジェもずいぶん遅くなったわね。一体どこの深淵に突き落としてたやら。
失礼ね。ちゃんとソファーに紅茶でくつろいでもらってたわよ。
Really?
ベルンカステル教の好む紅茶がエンジェの口に合うと良いのだがな。
確かにな。
失礼ね。誰の口にだって合うわよ。エリカなんか、私の紅茶はポットの最後の一滴からお味噌の壺の底まできれいに舐めとるわよ。
Why specifically a miso soup pot?
なぜそこで味噌が出てくるのか大いに疑問だぜ。
My thoughts exactly.
それにしてもエリカか。あやつとは久しぶりの再会になるな。
そういえばそうだな。名探偵殿があのベルンカステルのゲームを解くのにどの程度の時間をかけるのか見もの。
あの子は得意よ、こういうゲームは。多分上から下までを3度も読んだらもう答えを出しちゃうんじゃない？
だろうな。正解をご満悦で語るあいつの顔を早く見てやりたいぜ。
いやいや、それどころかあやつのこと、いろいろとへりくつをつけてバトラ一家以外にも犯行は可能だなどと言いかねんぞ。
Yeah.
だな。むしろ正解よりその自信たっぷりのへりくつが聞きたい気分だ。
Apparently, Balor and Beato were looking forward to their reunion with Erica. They had already dueled with Erica in 2 separate games, but now there was no distinction between foes and allies. They truly wanted to welcome her to this party after the show as a friend.
それにしてもちょっと意外な感じ。
何が？
だってあんたがこんなにもあっさりエンジェを解放するなんて。
Making sure that Battler and the others couldn't see her face, Lambda Delta sniggered.
そんなに意外？
意外よ。ベルンのことだから解放せずに次々とバトラに難問を突きつけていじめ抜いたり、あるいはエンジェにおかしなことを吹き込んでゲームを最後にかき回してくれる程度のことはするんじゃないかと思ってた。
Well...
ベルンのことを世界で誰よりも知っているつもりでいたのに、予想が外れてがっかりよ。
言うわね。でも安心して。やはりあんたは私のことを世界で一番理解しているのは間違いないのだから。
そりゃそうよ。このラムダデルタ様は全宇宙で一番ベルンのことを愛してて大好きで理解しちゃってるんだから。
Lambda Delta was flustered by Bernd Kostel's apparently friendly words, which were very rare coming from her.
バトラス様、ご歓談中失礼いたします。エンジェ様がお帰りになりました。
Oh boy.
おお、帰ってきたか。よかった。無事か？
雨に少し濡れてしまったようで、今熊沢がタオルを用意しております。
When Balor heard this, he breathed a sigh of relief. Then he turned to face Bernd Kostel, showing her a forced smile as though apologizing for still suspecting her just a little. Bernd Kostel showed no reaction and simply contented to wear a blank expression with a slight smile.
エンジェ様のお帰りでございます。
ただいま。
Hello.
バトラ、エンジェが帰ったぞ。
エンジェ、よかった。心配したぜ。
I don't think this is the same Angie, by the way. She stared at Battler as he dashed toward her with a relieved smile. Angie's expression seemed somehow indifferent.
バトラったらね、あんたのことを私が鎖か何かで岩牢に吊るしてたとでも思ったみたいよ。
いやいや、そこまでは思ってなかったぜ。
ベルンカステルの友人の家で紅茶をごちそうになってただけよ。なかなか美味しかったわ。
味噌とか梅干しは入ってなかったか？
入ってるわけないでしょ。
As Angie spoke bluntly, she walked right past her brother and exchanged a few whispered words with Bernkastel.
どうしたバトラ？
いや、なんでもない。
If he said that he was lonely because his little sister was being so cold, Beato would either laugh at him or scratch him. After all, Angie was a girl at that age. She might be in a bad mood for reasons that a boy like him couldn't understand. Taking note of this, and having satisfied himself that Angie was okay, he made to walk away.
バトラ、エンジェが呼んでいるぞ。
ああ、すまん。
さっきから呼んでるわよ。無視しないで。
Yeesh.
別に無視してたわけじゃねえぜ。なんだよお前。さっきから機嫌が悪いぞ。
大方、ベルンカステル教に珍しい紅茶とでも偽られて、おかしなものを飲まされたせいだろう。
I'm waiting for the happiness to be destroyed again. Well, at least it was brined up by her deliciously wonderful laugh.
あんたに用はないわ。ちょっと引っ込んでて。お兄ちゃんと二人で話がしたいの。
Jesus.
そうはいかぬぞ。わらわはこう見えても領主夫人。バトラに関してはすでにそなたよりもわらわの方が。
悪い、ベアト。少しだけ席を外してくれるか。
By now, Balor realized that Angie's issue was more than just a slight bad mood. Beato puffed out her cheeks as though she wanted to say something more. However, she just let it out with a sigh and walked away.
これでいいか？
ええ。だってこれは私とお兄ちゃんのゲームでしょ。プレイヤーは私、ゲームマスターはお兄ちゃん。私たちの間にいくつ駒が入り込もうと、結局は私とお兄ちゃんとの直接の戦いであることに何の変わりもない。
まあ、確かに俺がゲームマスターだが、別にお前と戦ってるわけじゃないぞ。この最後のゲームは、お前を1986年の六軒島に招待するために開いたものだ。
Right.
ゲームは勝敗を決するために行われるものよ。敵と味方が揃って初めてゲームと呼ぶ。そこをごまかさないで。
お前、何を言い出すんだ。
Yeah, this don't look good.
すっかり騙されていたわ。私も最初はお兄ちゃんが1986年のあの日に招待してくれるのだと思ってた。でも違う。これは全部お兄ちゃんの茶番じゃない。
I know this music.
ハマったるい物語でお茶を濁して私を煙に巻いて、孤独な未来へ安っぽい温かさを手土産に追い返そうとしているだけじゃない。私は最初から求めてるわ。あの日六軒島で何があったのか。それに対するお兄ちゃんの答えがこのゲーム、この甘ったるい幻想パーティー。私の問いに対するお兄ちゃんの答えはもはや明白だわ。私は真実が知りたい。そしてお兄ちゃんに教える気はない。
Oh God, Angie.
エンジェル、いいか、そうじゃない。
ごまかさないで。これは私とお兄ちゃんの最後の戦いのゲームだったのよ。私はあの日の真実を求める。 そしてお兄ちゃんはあの日の真実を幻想で覆い隠そうとしてる。何も変わらない。お兄ちゃんとベアトが戦ってた時と何も構図は変わらないのよ。もうすぐで私はお兄ちゃんに全てをうやむやにされたままゲーム版を追い出されるところだった。おあいにくね、私はもうこのゲームは私とお兄ちゃんの戦いであることを理解してるの。もうこれ以上は簡単に騙せると思わないことね。
Oh god. Angie's shout tore apart the peaceful atmosphere. The family members and fantasy residents gulped and watched the scene, wondering what was going on. Beato tried to run up to Battler, but he motioned for her to stay back.
何が望みなんだ。
最初からただ一つ、1986年の六軒島の真実、それだけを私は求めてる。
真実は猫箱の中に封じられてる。
A cat box that, in all honesty, cannot be opened unless they completely force open that book.
猫箱の外のお前にはたどり着けない。
だからこの甘ったるい幻想で私をごまかそうと。
確かにこれは幻想だ。だがお前にこの楽しい雰囲気を、親族の和気あいあいとした気持ちを思い出してほしかった。あの日あの島で何があったかじゃない。お前が忘れてしまった親族会議の温かな雰囲気を思い出してほしかったんだ。
He had legitimately good intentions with this game.
それはお兄ちゃんが押し付ける一方、私はそれを断固拒否する、拒絶する。
1986年の真実など存在しない。猫箱の中は虚無だ。お前はありもしないものを求めてる。
私はもう騙されないわよ。存在するのよ、あの日の真実は。それは唯一の生還者によって書き残され現存している。
Balor's expression faltered for just an instant, and Angie didn't miss it. So he was hiding it after all. Oni-chan has been hiding the book of the single truth from me.
エヴァおばさん、あんたが死んでから私は初めて感謝するわ。あんたがしっかりとあの日の真実を書き残してくれていたおかげで、私は真実を知る最後の機会を得た。
エンジェちゃん聞いて。あの日記はおばさんのデタラメが書いてあるだけで何の意味も。
ごまかしは不要よ。あんたの日記にはあの日の真実が記されているとすでに赤き真実で断じられているのよ。
バカな。ゲームマスターのバトラ以外の誰が赤き真実を使えるというのか。
アウアウローラね。
Yep!
正解よ。一なる真実の章は1998年という未来世界の存在。その中身に赤き真実で保証を与えるという大役が他の誰にできるっていうの。
ベルンカステルは全てを教えてくれたわ。私はもうお兄ちゃんに騙されない。私が欲しいのは甘ったるい幻想じゃない、本当の真実。そしてそれをいくら1986年のお兄ちゃんが覆い隠そうとも、1998年の私には暴くことができる。なぜなら1986年のベアトリーチェがお兄ちゃんで、私は1998年のベアトリーチェだから。
Oh. God. A cyclone rose up around Angie. There was a golden swirl of gold butterflies, just like the golden witch Beatrice. Really? Golden knocked? Oh my!
1998年の最後の黄金の魔女、エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。
That's a pretty cool outfit, actually.
過去の魔女は決して未来の魔女には勝てない。
The cyclone of gold broke apart, and as gold leaves scattered across the room, the final witch, who would inherit Beatrice's name in the future, appeared.
Angie. Beatrice.
あんたは黄金と無限の魔女。私は違う。黄金と真実の魔女。いかなる幻想も私を拒むことはできないわ。さあ、お兄ちゃんの退屈なパーティーはもうおしまい。
Oh shit.
ここからは私のパーティーになるわ。パーティーを賑わせるゲームだって用意してきた。
Wait, what?
よろしくね、エヴァおばさん。
When Angie snapped her fingers, she vanished along with the swirl of gold butterflies. In her place, in the middle of the cyclone, a girl wearing a dress appeared, bowing modestly. Oh! Hello!
失礼しちゃう話よね。私にだけパーティーの招待状がないなんて。
そなたエヴァ。
私は六軒島の唯一の生還者。そして1986年から1998年まで黄金と無限の魔女を名乗る未来。バトラ君の甘ったるい幻想なんて未来の世界では湖面に落ちる一粒の雪より儚いわ。さあ楽しんでちょうだい。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。あなたたちの無限の推理を。
When Ava held her hand to the heavens, light gathered there and took the form of a bottle. Yes, a bottle. A glass bottle with no label. There was no alcohol inside. Sealed within it was a fragment that let out a pale, sinister light.
バトラー、それはまずい。割らせてはならぬ。
Too late!
さあ、ショータイム。
Is this new music? The bottle was slammed against the floor and smashed to pieces. As soon as the fragment within it touched the outside air, it flashed white and burst. At first, it seemed like nothing had happened. However, Ava grinned at them before becoming a cloud of butterflies and vanishing. Come to think of it, Burncastle was gone as well.
あいつ何をしやがったんだ。
おそらく未来の世界より持ち帰った未来の猫箱の中身とでも言おうか。
つまりどういうことだ。なんだ。
At that moment, they heard a thundering roar. It was as though large chunks of hail had started falling everywhere. An earthquake accompanied that noise, and the whole mansion creaked. Dust began to fall from the ceiling. At the same time, it seemed as though the curtain-covered window glowed with a pale light.
一体何事だというの。
キリエ、外。何よあれ。
Everyone rushed to the window in response to her voice. Of course, Battler and Beato went too. Whoa! Then they drew the curtains, looked at the scene outside, and were stunned into silence. Kinzo's words spoke for the first impression felt by all who looked out the windows. Got that right.
美しいなんとかにはトゲがあるのはお約束に。
Though everyone found the scene beautiful, it gave them all a feeling of impending misfortune. Outside the window, countless small objects, pale glowing fragments of crystals, lay strewn about everywhere like fallen hail. The word fantastical perfectly summed up the scene that lay before them in the glowing rose garden.
今あそこ何か動いたわ。おい、あそこに誰かいるぜ。いや、あれ。
Let me guess, Erica?
あの光るかけらから人影が生え出してる。
What?
煉獄の七姉妹
戦闘態勢。
With those words of Lucifer's, everyone finally realized that they were surrounded by danger. The goats. One by one, the countless fragments shook and burst, and large dark bodies rose up from inside each. They were giants with goat heads. One after another, they appeared from the inside of broken fragments. Those fragments lay all over the rose garden in vast numbers, and made the ground glow, so that everyone inside was forced to shudder.
45全集警戒。
レーダーが真っ白です。ジャミングされてるか、もしくは乱反射無数、敵数確認不能。
Open Coastal, you cheeky little beach witch. Even as she said this, the glowing rose garden outside the window was being filled with giant goats. The fragments carrying the goats weren't just in the rose garden. They were spread evenly across the entire island. Not just the rose garden, but the entire area around the mansion was being covered with goats by now.
緊急。包囲されたものと申し上げ立てまつる。
見りゃわかるぜ。見りゃよ。
どうするの、バトラー。
I don't know, what are you doing, Maria?
招待状がねえ客なら、おい、こいつらは何者なんだ。ベアトのとこの従者ってわけじゃなさそうだな。
ヤギの姿はこのゲーム版の駒の形を模倣しただけのことでしょう。リーチやリーヤの眷属じゃないわ。もっと厄介な何かよ。
なるほど、ボトルメッセージの具現化というわけですか。
A manifestation of the messages within the bottles.
ボトルメッセージ？ベアト。
違うな、こいつは未来の住人たちの妄想のかけらだ。
Delusions from the people of the future.
猫箱はそのうちに無限を秘める。その結果、箱の外の住人たちはその中身を無限に想像することが許される。
So they're basically using the numbers of the infinite delusions of the future to outnumber this.
その無限の妄想がこやつらの正体だ。あのヤギたちは私たちをどうするつもりでしょう。
仲良く握手ができる雰囲気には見えへんで。
あいつらは私たちがこの島でどんな惨劇が繰り広げられたかを勝手にでっち上げてはルフして回る最悪の連中よ。私が真実を語らないことを面白がり、勝手に次々と惨劇を生み出して。
なるほど。1986年、猫箱を勝手に妄想する。
So I was
未
right.
来のかけらたちってわけか。
未来世界にはありとあらゆる解釈が存在します。それらは私たちが否定しない限り、全てが全て真実だと言い張り、この島に居座り続けるのです。
Well, at least you're having a good time.
これは厄介なことになったね。
私たちは包囲され、絶対絶命のピンチというわけだわ。
You gonna say we use the power of love to beat him? Damn it. I was expecting a what's the word?
あいつら何をしているんだ。
They vanished.
食べてるよ。何か食べてる。
What are they eating?
バラを食べている。
A crowd of goats was squirming about and doing something. If you looked closely, you could see them sticking their heads into the rose bushes and munching away. And it wasn't just rose bushes. Light poles, the bricks of the flower beds, and even the stone paving itself. They were biting all of it. Almost as if they were trying to eat up the whole island.
違う。あれはただ食べてるんじゃない。
食べているんじゃなければ一体何だと。あれは食っているのではない。侵食し削り取っている。
Oh, that's not good.
この
ゲーム版そのものを。
ゲーム版を食うだと。
未来の世界では誰もが今日の私たちは惨劇に飲み込まれたと信じてる。だから彼らは和やかに過ごす私たちの真実を認めないの。過去の真実は未来の真実の前に置いて。
It would seem so.
あのヤギたちの無慈悲なる未来の顎と牙を我らの真実を認めず彼らの期待する真実で侵食するの。
ふざけやがって。これが俺たちの真実なんだ。勝手に未来の、それもよその奴らの期待する真実に塗り替えようとするんじゃねえ。
Oh, God, that is so fucking creepy. The garden outside the window was now filled with too many goats to count, all chewing away. This repulsive scene stole the words from everyone's lips. They weren't just stunned into silence. There was just no point in making a fuss and letting the goats know for no reason. No point in letting them know that there was plenty of prey waiting in this bright, warm room. Prey that was softer and easier to chew than roses or bricks.
あのヤギ、こっちを見てますよ。
静かに。騒いではダメだ。こっちへ来ますさ。まずくありませんか。
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. They saw one of the newly born goats' head slowly. I'm sorry. They saw one of the newly born goat's head slowly towards their window. There was already a huge swarm of them in the garden, so it was no surprise that when one of them looked around for new prey, it would see the light from this window. Its immense, eerie body slowly approached. As it grew closer, they could finally see it clearly. The eyes blazed, yet it was still cold, ruthless, and reptilian. The cruel fangs and jaw could tear apart and crush anything. Any fangs that could chew through brick would hardly have a problem chewing through people. Its massive body had to be taller than the windows themselves, and it was lumbering towards this window. Guys,
実は後ろ見焼け特注の防弾ガラスだということは。
Ballard, not right time right now.
防弾程度であの巨体の剛腕が防げるとは思えぬぞ。
Right.
うわー！来た来た！かけてくる！
And Goat has already lost it. Oh!
この窓を許すことなきなりと知りたてまつれ。
You go! The power of Cornelia's seal formed a shield around the glass. The goat was blown back, unable to even touch the glass because of this power. Its weight made the earth tremble. They could feel that clearly even inside. But that tremor had also drawn the attention of the nearby goats. A pack of goats started shuffling towards them, and a fight broke out as they each charged forward, trying to reach this new prey first. The window protected by Cornelia's seal would probably be safe. However, there were many windows in the Great Hall. For the first time, these windows became a source of terror instead of sunlight and a lovely view.
ガートルード。
聞け。この窓を許すことなきなりと知りたてまつれ。
Gertrude sealed another window. The goats trying to break in through that one were thrown back. But at the same time, they heard the crash of yet another window being smashed. Scattering fragments of glass everywhere, the massive goats broke through the window frame and entered the building. Might want to duck, dude. Use your lucky punch! Uh-oh. Those words really were coming from the goat's mouth, along with a steaming, foul breath. However, it didn't get a chance to say any more. Forehead, neck, shoulder, chest, side, gut, knee. The stakes of the seven sisters buried themselves in deep, one after another.
熱くてまずい貫き心地。こんなまずい連中何匹も食ってらんないわ。
The other windows shattered one after another, and several goats squeezed their way in through the window frames. Their mouths were still stuffed with the bricks they had just been snacking on. Each time they chewed, it made a ghastly sound, like bones being crushed.
撃退します。シエスタ隊、近接戦闘準備。
待ちな。ドンパチやってもさらに騒ぎで他のヤギたちを呼び寄せちまうだけだ。
Use your blade!
2階へ逃れるのだ。階段を封印すれば時間も稼げよう。
みんな大階段を上がれ。急げ。
After sniffing noisily as though scanning the smells around them, the goats started chewing on whatever chairs, tables, or curtains were close by. The goats would chew on anything to bits as long as it was near them. If the others were careful not to attract the goats' attention, they would be able to escape from this place. The humans ran on up ahead to the second floor, while the fantasy creatures, who were used to fighting, guarded the rear. The goats were completely absorbed by their feast on everything in the hall. By now, they were even brutally chewing away at the portrait of Beatrice. No, Beatrice! Which might be called the symbol of the whole Ushidania family.
バトラー、人間は全員2階へ避難したぞ。
よし、ドラノール、すべての階段の封印を頼む。
ガートルードたちが行います。しかし、時間稼ぎが必要です。
All over the mansion, there were loud beating sounds that might be called knocks and the sound of shattering glass.
さて皆さん、お仕事の時間でございますね。
Indeed.
煉獄の七姉妹、ここに。さあ行くよお前たち。今夜は食い放題だわ。シエスタ隊、外部タスク、オールスリープ、自動更新切断、データは取るな、捕虜は取るな。
第7管区アイゼルネ・ユングフラウ
Even Dullinor.
領主命令により任務を開始します。
Excellent.
助立ちするぜ。
Good.
リオン、お前は足手まとい。2階へ上がってろ。
でもウィル、ここは私たちに任せ、あなたにも家族を守るという仕事がありますよ。わかりました。皆さんご無事で。
The mansion was filled with the sounds of knocking, crushing, smashing, and chewing. The goats in their wave of destruction was drawing steadily closer.
バトラ卿、ガートルードたちが別階段の封鎖を完了しました。残る階段はこの大階段だけです。あっちの階段はちっちゃいから早いわね。でもこの階段は大きいから時間をかけそうね。時間稼ぎが大変だわ。
Lambda Delta spoke as though it was someone else's problem. It only took a glance at her face to see that she had no intention of lending a hand. Even so, Beto didn't scold her. This was a game between Battler and Angie. Lambda Delta was only a theater goer who had been invited. No, you're a neutral party, I understand.
業務に食われたら私だって死んじゃうわ。悪いけど私は傍観者に回らせてもらうわ。
元よりそなたは傍観者だ。助力を頼めぬのは残念だがな。
気を使ってんだろ。俺たちの見せ場を奪わないために。
え？
多分そういうことにしておきましょう。
As a Voyager witch, Lambda Delta could retreat from this game board of battlers if she wanted to. In other words, she was the only one who wasn't in trouble now.
じゃあね、ベルンとあんたたちのゲーム見届けさせてもらうわ。応援してるからね。
ポップコーンを食べながら。
Probably.
もちろん。今日は醤油バター味にするわ。
Not gonna judge you for your tastes. Lambda Delta vanished with a pop. As soon as she did, a black hole opened in the midair and Gop fell out of it.
バトラー、リーチェ、ちょっと来てくれる？多分見た方がいいものよ。
今すぐにか。
ええ。行こうぞ。みんな、ここを頼むぞ。
When Gop snapped her fingers, a large hole opened up under Battler and Beato, swallowing them both. When it spat them back out again, they were in an inky black sky. Both of them were floating in the night sky. They could see Rokunjima far beneath them, and as soon as they realized this, they shuddered.
これは群れじゃねえ。こりゃ海だな。
That's a shit ton of goats. It was no longer a crowd of goats, but an entire sea of them. Just as Rokunjima poked out from the ocean, the mansion was now poking out from a sea of goats.
未来人ってすごいよ。一体この島での惨劇をどれだけ大勢が妄想したというのかしらね。
猫箱の外の寝言に過ぎるわ。一掃してくれようぞ。
それからあれを見て、分かりにくいと思うけど海岸線を見て。
海岸線？
What about it?
船着き場が分かりやすいわ。よく見て分かる。
まさか。
ああ、多分そのあいつら島ごとな。
Oh god.
さあおいでなさい、未来のかけらたち。巨食を幻想をまやかしをすべて食らい尽くしちゃえば。
As Ava yelled this to the heavens, hovering about the raging sea, her hair fell down with a pale glow. Each one was a bottle with no label and a fragment inside. They poured onto the island, were smashed to bits, and the fragments inside them were scattered everywhere. Every now and then, the fragments would split into two, then split in two again, and every single one of them burst and gave birth to a massive goat. To say it was like bamboo shoots springing up after the rain would be a vast understatement. The goats writhed about like bubbling, boiling water in a pot. They ate away at everything they saw. They didn't just eat the harbor, but the trees and rocks, the entire coastline itself. Hundreds, thousands, no, tens of thousands of ghosts continued to eat. They were chewing away at every bit of Rokunjima, this final game that Battler had prepared. I think somebody started their Subaru outside.
悪いわね、バトラ君。未来はこの島に惨劇を望んでいるの。
Well, fuck the future!
エンジェだって真実を望んでる。巨食も幻想もまやかしもすべて食らい尽くしてあげるわ。
By now, Battler and the others had to admit it. The future wanted a tragedy. Even if the truth of this island had been a gentle, peaceful thing, the future didn't want that. The truth they wanted was painting over the past.
過去など儚いものよ。猫箱さえも食い破る。
なんて奴らなんだ。俺たちをそんなにも惨劇にぶち込みたいってのかよ。
Yep, they certainly are.
私が見せたかったのはこれでおしまい。戦況の判断に役立ったならいいんだけど。
ああ、ありがとう。おかげで最悪の気分だ。
じゃあ次は書斎に行ってちょうだい。ゴールドスミスが呼んでるわ。
Gop snapped her fingers and took another black hole swallowed them up and spat them out in the study.
ない。
You guys okay?
ガープめ。落とすならベッドの上にしろというのだ。
じいさま、まずいぜ。俺たちは完全に
分かっておる。そしてこのまま立てこもってやり過ごすこともかなうまい。
ロノウェたちはある程度の時間を稼ぐだろうが、それも一時だろう。
If they just holed up in the mansion and fought them there, it would only be a matter of time before the swarm of goats got them. Trying to repel a few of the goats who barged into the mansion would be like using a cup to bail water from a boat with a hole in it.
しばらくは防戦できるだろうが、それも時間の問題よ。
その防戦の間に何かの手を打たなきゃな。逃げるか。
I don't know, kind of punch Burn Costal for knocking us into this freaking game?
どこへ
Or, you know, destroying the game board, to be more precise.
ゲーム版の外へ逃げる方法はあるのか
Actually, to be even further precise, kind of manipulating Angie.
ゲーム版の外は我らの領地の外側よ。航海者の魔女でなければ出ることは叶わない。
Only Burn Costal and Lambda Delta could do it. However, there was no way Burn Costal would help. Even Lambda Delta had already announced that she would be an observer instead of lending a hand.
逃げ場なしか
Yep, this whole situation has gone foobar.
いや、一箇所だけある。
Koadorian?
どこに
黄金鏡だ。
Oh!
なるほど。もはやそれしかあるまいか。
うん。黄金鏡はこのゲーム版の上で最も不可侵な場所だ。逃れるならそこしかあるまい。
Oh.
猫箱すら食い破るやつらよ。黄金鏡とていつ食い破ってくるかわからないわね。
どうするバトラー。
即決する決断が遅れれば全員を黄金鏡へ避難させよう黄金鏡の扉を開くにはどうすればいい
By activating the clock?
わらわが扉を開くだけのことよ。しかしあのヤギどもの群れが凄まじき半魔法の毒素を放っておる。扉が開くのには時間がかかるぞ。
扉が開くまでこの書斎を死守しろってんだろやることは何も変わらね
え。もう一つ問題がある。黄金鏡の扉は外より二人で押さねば閉じられない。
Cannot be shut unless two people close it from the outside.
外より二人どういうことだ
As soon as he said this, Battler realized this must be an agreement made between the three witches who are one.
普段ならばわざわざ扉を閉めることもないのだがな。今回ばかりはそうもいかぬだろう。
扉を閉める役目はお前とベアとしかおるまいぞ。
漁師の俺とベアと一番無難な人選だな。
うん。我ら二人だけならば身を守ることもなんとかなろうぞ。
よし扉を開けてくれ
Beato waved her pipe, leaving a golden trail behind as she sliced the air vertically. Then the gap at the door to the golden land appeared. It looked like nothing more than a thin golden string hanging from the ceiling. If you looked closely, you could see that the string was getting thicker, very slowly. The door to the golden land certainly was opening, but so clearly that but so slowly that you couldn't even tell if you were too careful. At this rate, it would probably take quite some time before it grew big enough to let a person through.
じい様とガープはこの本丸の守りを頼む。
外壁をよじ登ってくるヤギどもが現れるかもしれんしな。
心得た。
了解よ。そいつらを奈落の穴に落として遊んでるわ。
Excellent. The giant was sliced at an angle, split into two parts, then fell to the floor, showered it with filthy, dark blood and guts.
お見事です。
次は譲ってやろう。
Countless massive goats which had forced their way in from rooms and windows all across the mansion. I forgot to read that. Countless massive ghosts which had forced their way in from rooms and windows all across the mansion wandered about in search of something to chew. Several of the ghosts noticed that the group of people huddled around the staircase and lumbered closer. But they were pulverized by merciless attacks. Oh, that's another face I missed. Ronave's shields easily halted the charging goats, and Vergilia's magic spears were pinning the giants against the walls. Dullinor and Wheel's blades were also slicing easily through the goats. The pinpoint strikes of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory could pierce the vitals of and finish off any opponent, no matter how large. The Chiesa sisters were holding their own too. They had blasted enough goats to bits with one shot from their high-caliber firearms that you couldn't count the kills with both hands. Given a limited number of opponents, they were more than a match for these goats. However, they weren't just up against a crowd, but an entire sea. It was like a pebble trying to face the approaching wave of a stormy sea.
Girls, calm down.
The hall was filled with massive goat corpses. As if in fear of this sight, the goats that came in one after another formed a wall, keeping their distance.
私たちにかなわないと思ってくれているのでしょうか。
それを期待したいところですが、それは甘いようです。こいつら何なの？私たちを見てボソボソと喋り合ってるわ。
どうやら会話をして連携できる程度の知能がある。
They're not entirely stupid. The goats were surrounding them at a distance and whispering to each other. Then they nodded at each other as though deciding something, and the whole group stirred. What are they doing? It almost looks like they're lining up in a different order.
敵、陣形を変更。より突破力のある個体に最前列を譲ったものと推定。
Uh-oh.
だからなんだというの？行くわよ、お前たち。はい、お姉さん。お待ちなさい。相手の様子が変です。
Lucifer took aim at one of them and going for his forehead. The other six sisters followed her lead, trying to pierce the vital organs all over the creature's body. However, there was no sound of pierced flesh. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory were knocked back, unable to cause even the smallest wound.
何？どういうこと？こいつら何か喋ってるわ。
The goats kept whispering the same thing over and over as they slowly approached the Seven Sisters. All of them whispered unanimously.
Oh. Oh no.
As they whispered curses that denied the Seven Sisters' existence, the goats lumbered closer.
煉獄隊を下がって援護します。
ヤギども、教育してやる。
Damn. The golden bows of the Chester troops mowed down the wall of goats with shower of bright golden bullets. Some of the goats were torn to pieces, but some of them seemed completely unaffected. Then the goats who were uninjured all whispered as one. Oh. Holy shit, wait a minute, that means I was right! A long time ago I made the correlation that Maria's rabbit dolls and... oh my. That is the opposite of good.
認めないということは？
魔法の攻撃が一切通用しないということだわ。
Ah, shit!
それじゃあ私たちの攻撃は通用しないってこと？エンドレスナイン、私たちを認めてくれなきゃ攻撃も通じないん。
そんなことが。
試してみるのが一番ですな。
Ronove stepped forward, stamped on the floor twice, and a red barrier rose up in front of him. A crowd of goats dashed into it with a terrifying force. While some goats were blown away by it, several of them slipped right through the magical barrier. Oh shit. These freaking future people suck. There was no longer any point in Virgilia trying out her magical spear. Now that some of the goats had decided that her existence was fictional, she could no longer hurt them. Even these great demons and great witches, as well as high-level furniture and weapons, were overcome with fear of the crowd that surrounded them, a crowd that would not be affected by any of their attacks. You might want to retreat.
最後の一発まで戦うのだ。貴様らの戦士は許可しない。
God, that voice is terrifying. That made it 300 times worse. A shriek from one of the goats became a signal for the wall of them to break. They pushed forward with gaping mouths and foul breath, each trying to reach their prey first, trying to return these fictional creatures to nothingness. Virgilia leapt in front of and held several of the seven sisters who had fallen on their butts, overpowered by the ferocity of the approaching goats. However, even Virgilia was a fictional creature to these goats. They could chew through her like cotton candy. Ronove threw himself at the oncoming goats. Even he would be chewed apart easily. Knowing this, Ronove leapt forward. Ronove slammed his right fist into the side of the goat's face. As soon as he pulled it back, he swung his left leg into the goat's gut, then spun around into a reverse roundhouse that caught the goat again. Ronove knew he could do less damage than a mosquito bite against those who didn't accept his existence. This was the height of anti-magic defensive power. Endless 9. Holy shit, was I like this in the beginning? The goat swung its log-like fist with a sound like a storm. Ronove dodged by a hair. If he had been an instant slower, the massive arm would have crushed his head like glass. Ronove grinned and tried to act tough. He had already abandoned everything. There was nothing he could do here now, except becoming a shield to buy time. He had already chosen to abandon his life for this. The goats kept coming, trying to feast on Ronove. None had any pretensions of making this a one-on-one fight. Nothing mattered except chewing apart fantasy. Even just a nibble. As they gnashed those ruthless jaws and fangs, they gathered around Ronove. Ronove's foot hit something and he stumbled. In the same instant, several massive arms reached out and lifted him up.
皆さんどうかお下がりを。私を夢中でかじる間は多少は時間が稼げるでしょう。
Shit!
しかしこの炉の上少し小骨が多いかもしれません。
An elbow jammed itself into the massive, hideous jaws that were trying to chew Ronove's head. Of course, the goat did moan, but that did nothing but deprive just one goat from his right of getting the first bite of Ronove's head. Many jaws opened wide, trying to crush him and throw him down into those heartless stomachs, which would permit no cheerful fantasies to exist. Jesus Christ, did I really sound like that in the beginning? I don't like it. What the? All of the many arms that lifted Ronove up were sliced off. The Seven Sisters used this chance to fly forward and grab Ronove, dragging him back.
ミステリーとおっしゃった方はどなたですか？ドラノールの刃は通じるの？
そうか。相手がミステリーを主張するのなら。
Blood-red longsword in hand, Eleanor slowly walked forward. Behind her walked Will, tapping his back with his black blade.
ファンタジーじゃねえってなら聞こうじゃねえか、お前らの推理。
皆さんのご考説、とても楽しみです。
The crowd of goats stepped back. Though they had been so vicious against the fantasy creatures, they stepped back when faced with this pair wielding swords of mystery.
このゲーム版で行われた密室殺人の数々、どれからでも受けて立ちましょう。
違うぜ、受けて立つのは俺らじゃね
え。そうでした。ミステリーとは挑むもの。なぜに私たちが受けて立たねばというのか。
分かってんだろうな、お前ら。
You are the ones in the hot seat now. Blue Truth cut the goats apart. That Blue Truth dwelled within each and every one of the riddles in Beato's games so far. What about the closed room with the chain? First game, second Twilight. What about the closed room with the chapel? Second game, first Twilight. What about the trick to killing Nanjo? Third game, ninth Twilight. There was no end to the blades. The countless riddles Beatrice left behind became blades. Challenges that tore the goats apart. If they wanted to deny fantasy, they would have to make a counter-argument. They would have to deal with every single trick as a mystery. However, while most of the goats had called themselves anti-fantasy, they had no answer for the mystery. Well, every now and then there was a goat who did have an answer. You fool!
ノックス第1条、犯人は物語当初の登場人物以外は禁ず。
バンダイン第12作、真犯人が複数であることを禁ず。つまんねえだろ、そんなミステリー。だから俺は思うぜ、ミステリーはもっと自由であるべきだとな。ノックス次回がバンダイ20作も時代をくれ。ミステリー こいつら開き直りやがっ
やはり私たちは時代遅れということなのでしょう。
なら俺たちを納得させる推理を聞かせてみやがれ。
いざ来たれ。
The whole crowd of goats charged them. In their fangs, each of them carried theories to crush Beato's closed rooms. The bodies of these goats were different than the ones who had become corpses so easily just now. They had mystery-style answers to several closed rooms, so it would take several blade hits to give them a fatal wound. However, Beato had left many blades behind. All of them were exceedingly sharp, so the pair of inquisitors didn't think this would be a desperate battle. This was mystery. The goal is to use all your imagination and knowledge to challenge each of the riddles head-on. Doing this is the greatest enjoyment of the mystery genre. So they laughed. Both Will and Dullinor laughed. With smiles of admiration at the theories the goats had put everything they had into, they countered them with blades from all the closed rooms. The crowd of goats was no longer an encirclement, but a great wave threatening to swallow the pair up. Yet the pair repelled the enemy without giving an inch. They resisted firmly, cutting through the wave of wailing goats. It was like an ice-breaking ship knocking a path through a frozen sea. Really?
ノックス第3条、秘密の通路の存在を禁ず。第8条、提示されない手がかりでの解決を禁ず。
There we go. Dullinor hesitated for just an instant. After all, this cliched and simple theory managed to get around both Beato's closed rooms and the Nox commandments. Dullinor saw nothingness inside the goat's massive jaws. Surely the jaws of that goat had closed over Dullinor's head. However, the upper and lower jaw were no longer connected, so the upper half slid off to the side. The goats hadn't backed off far enough to let the pair have a nice long chat about mystery. The next massive figure immediately enveloped them. Will's blade drew a diagonal slash across his chest, but it only cut through its clothes, leaving no wound. Dullinor also hit it with her longsword, but still it just cut its clothes without leaving a mark on its body. Could it be that this goat had a theory that didn't violate Nox or Van Dyne? In an attempt to stop the goat from saying any more, Will and Dullinor hit it with blades from every closed room, as well as stakes from the 10 Commandments and the 20 Rules. But none of it had any effect. Slowly the goat clenched its massive fists together and raised them up high. With a roar, Will slammed into the goat giant with his body. Though its massive bolt bent back slightly, Will was still leaping into a death trap. However, if he hadn't done so, he wouldn't have been able to protect Dullinor. The goat grabbed Will. It lifted him high up and held him high in the air. It was like a little kid showing off his favorite toy and waving it around. The goat's massive hands closed in on Will like a vice. All the bones in Will's body were creaking. What? You fool. Will's head was lowered, so his face couldn't be seen. However, the arm of the goat holding him was shaking. The embrace of those log-sized arms with superhuman strength was being slowly pushed away by Will's shaking arms. The goat's arms were now spread wide, and it looked as though Will was now the one pushing it back. Will's face was covered in shadow and couldn't be seen. Will slammed his forehead into the goat's now unprotected head. Jesus! Will hit it with his head over and over again. His forehead had been torn apart by the goat's fangs, but he kept on hitting it. Van Dyne and Nox may be behind the times. The mystery genre doesn't progress with time, just like the world around it. However, there's one thing that never changes. That is pride. What is a knight proud of? Not victory. He's proud of the courage that lets him stand up to anyone without fear. Will couldn't forgive the kind of coward who could turn tail from a fight and then brag about it. People who call themselves mystery fans but who have no pride were the only ones Will just couldn't bear. The goat, unable to put up with this anymore, threw Will down to the floor. Then he lifted his fists again, determined to crush Will to pieces this time. Kira, お前は俺を叩き潰すだろ。だがそれはお前の勝利じゃねえ。お前は自らのプライドを自らの手で叩き潰すんだよ。Well, you're pathetic, aren't you? A fist like a cannonball swinging down towards him was the very last thing Will saw before he shut his eyes. Hey! Battler smashed his fist into the ghost's mouth. Blech, and smashed teeth bounced off the ceiling.
思考停止ってことはミステリーであることを諦めたってことだぜ。ってことはお前にとってはこのゲームは ファンタジーってことだな。
Valor lifted up his arm. Realizing this was the signal, Lucifer and Chesta 00 jumped.
思考を止めたなら、お前はもう舞台の上にいるべき役者じゃねえ。偉そうに語ってないで。観覧席でポップコーンでも食ってろよ。
The goat lifted his fist again and swung it down at Balor like a hammer.
ファンタジーに屈したならただの的でしかないに。それはすなわち私たちの存在を認めるも同じということ。敵識別を開始。魔法攻撃可能な個体を HMD にマーキング。
ファンタジーに屈服してる子は私たちが相手してあげる。
推理があるならば我らが伺いましょう。
I don't know how long this is gonna go off, but I'm gonna have to stop eventually because this is too much.
そういう輩は大歓迎だぜ。敬意を示して全力で受け止めてやらあ。
おっと、しかしここはバトラ様の見せ場のようですな。
Good!
ミステリーもファンタジーも、お前ら自慢のご考説をゆっくりと拝聴してところしかし、今回はお前らのゲームじゃない。お前ら未来のかけらがどんなに否定しようとも、俺は折れるわけにはいかねえんだよ。
A golden glint gathered in Battler's hands. It was so bright that the whole hall was bathed in gold. Golden butterflies flitted about, as though the whole land was being swallowed up by the golden land. Balor lifted his golden longsword high.
ミステリーもファンタジーも、ベアとのゲームに挑む姿勢は大いに結構だ。歓迎もする。だがな、俺のこの最後のゲームの否定だけは眠る者の尊厳を傷つける。不謹慎を知れ。
A slice of the golden longsword flooded the hall with a sea of golden light. That was awesome. Then the whole group of goats clambering about the hall turned into clouds of gold butterflies and scattered. Even so, only about 100 of them had been wiped out. Before long, the massive crowds of goats outside would probably come pouring in.
ガートルードたちの封印はもう少しだ。すまないが、もうしばらくここを持ちこたえてくれ。
もちろんだよ、バトラ卿。
それくらいしか私たちに見せ場はないし。
お前らも少しは戦ってもいいんだぞ。
Please?
だって
私たちは
司会者だし。
Shit! Their excessively blunt refusal drew a few strange smiles. However, it had lessened the tension in the room just a bit.
バトラ様、ここは私たちにお任せを。これ以上の侵食を許しはしません。そして私たちの誰も決してかけることはありません。
無論です。なぜなら私たちもバトラ卿のゲーム版の大切な駒なのですから。
The seven sisters of Purgatory, the Chiesta sister, Troops, and everyone else nodded forcefully.
ああ、頼むぜ。みんな、エンジのための最後のゲーム、絶対に守るぞ。下はなんとか持ちこたえて。
黄金鏡の扉もゆっくりと開き続けているぞ。まだ時間がかかるがな。
そういうわけだ。俺たちも時間を稼がねえとな。
The sea of goats that covered the ground below them was jostling about more and more. By now, even the sea surrounding the island had disappeared. The horizon was gone, and the chewed-up island was now floating on an eerie emptiness like space. The ghosts that flooded the edges of Rokunjima seemed to be spilling off the sides.
このゲーム版はもうおしまいだな。
ゲームマスターがいて駒が揃ってさえいれば、いつかゲーム版などまた広げられる。ゲームなど人が2人揃いさえすれば何だってできるのだからな。
そうだな。
エンジは一体どこ
例のあれはどこへ隠した？
そうだ、礼拝堂。
That's probably where she is
礼
then.
拝堂はどうなってる？
まだ残っている。
The chapel looked like a white building floating in the pitch black sea of goats. Yes, this was strange. There was no way those goats who consumed everything would go out of their way to avoid just the chapel.
エンジはあそこだ。
Outside the chapel was a sea of goats. Very soon the earth around the chapel would be eaten away, and it would probably end up floating on nothingness. The rampage of the goats as they devoured everything and chanted the tragedy they imagined with one voice was truly making a lot of noise. However, none of that reached the inside of the chapel. Angie finally broke the magic seal on the entrance and stepped inside. The seal was supposed to be unbreakable by anyone. However, in the face of Angie Beatrice, Witch of Truth, the one who sought the truth and could sweep aside all forces that prevented her from finding it, no barrier was absolute.
あれね。
Angie, my god. A single book, tightly locked, rested on the altar. It was the hidden diary that Shinomiya Eva had written in, even in her later years. The Book of the Single Truth. It was the one Featherine had shown her in the world of 1998. Okay, obviously since I knew I said I was gonna keep these videos shorter, I'm hoping we come to a break point here. This time I have the key. I gripped the gold key that's set in my pocket, the key Oni-chan gave me. As I approached the altar, I saw that the Book of the Single Truth was wrapped in a strange bending of light.
ベルンカステルの言っていたゲームマスターの封印とかいうやつね。
The Book of the Single Truth was sealed in something like a crystal. It was a seal made by the Game Master's authority. This was on a different level than the breakable magical seal on this chapel door. No matter how Angie used her power as a Witch of Truth, this couldn't be broken by anyone except the Game Master. However, this time Balor wasn't the only Game Master.
悪いわね、お兄ちゃん。ベルンカステルだってゲームマスター。乗っていって封印を解いてもらえばいいだけの話だわ。
My god, Angie. Angie slowly approached the altar.
エンジは素直にそなたの言うことを聞くだろうか。
俺の妹なら素直には聞かねえだろうな。
ならばどうする？
力ずくしかねえだろうぜ。
At that moment, a fierce impact hit the pair of them. Beato was flung away, and Balor was sealed inside a massive crystal that extended up to the heavens.
くそ！なんだこりゃ。
Burn.
バトラー！なんだこれは！
It was a barrier, a massive cage of crystal. Balor was shut inside a crystal cage like a tower, so large that you had to look up to see the top.
ベアト、お前はエンジを頼め。
そなたはどうする？これを一人で内側より破れるというのか？この結界は密室結界？誰がこんなものを？
俺に密室で挑もうとするやつなんて一人しかいねえぜ。どうやら最後の客がようやく到着したようだな。
ウルウルエリカ。
行け！エンジを頼む！
Beato left Balor to handle this on his own and headed for the chapel. Balor took a deep breath and smiled daringly.
待ってたぜ。退屈だったか？忘却の深淵とやらは。
The answer was a laugh. Yeah, that's right. That laugh is enough.
元気そうじゃねえか。
退屈ではありませんでしたって信じてましたから。
だろうな。俺も信じてたぜ。
Balor flung off the cape of the Territory Lord. It would only get in the way, and it would be a rude way to welcome his final guest.
あの暗い深淵は次にあなたに再会できたならどんなミステリーで戦ってやろうかと思案するには実にちょうどいい場所でした。
Goody, I've been looking forward to it.
この水晶の檻は俺たちの決闘のリングってわけか。逃げ場なしのチェーンデスマッチってわけだ。
思えば私たちいっつもチェーンの密室をめぐって戦ってましたね。
ならそうするか。まさにチェーンデスマッチってわけだ。
私に準備はありますが、あなたはどうです？
あるさ。言ったろ。俺も信じてたって。
At the same time, they both brandished their mysteries, sealing the other in a chained, closed room.
来い！フルドエリカー！
There she is!
させてもらいますよ、バトラさん。
At the same time, they were both sealed inside a closed room, locked with a chain. Of course, it was easy to set and unset the chain from the inside. However, stepping into their opponent's chain room would be difficult. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. This is where I have no choice but to end it. I'm sorry. Sorry, that's where I'm gonna have to end it. I'm honestly out of time. Okay. Looks like the next recording is going to be extremely fun. Probably despairingly so. But I look forward to it. I was wondering why there wasn't any, like, chapter breaks in this for some freaking reason, but that's okay. I mean, that's fine. That's totally fine. I know I said I was wanting to take it a little longer, but I'm sorry, make it a little shorter and enjoy this, but I couldn't find a good place to stop. Can you blame me? Okay, not really. I mean, you can totally blame me as much as I want as much as you guys want, because I just fucking love Umineko and I want to enjoy it, but God, there was no good spot for me to stop there, I think. Without ending the episode really prematurely. But anyway, that's where I'm gonna have to end it. In the next episode, I guess we're going to be seeing a fight between Furudo Erika and Butler, and a fight between Angie and Beatrice. I look forward to seeing that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry for ending it on such a cliffhanger note, but fuck it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.